all, welcome back to my channel, the Paladin. And today is a Monday, so that's TV show reviews. And I wanted to do about, I just old show, but I thought about doing an overview for Marvel Defenders. Now, last time around I did for Game of Thrones, and why not just follow on through my, a certain kind of like pattern in my channel. I do reviews for separate episodes, and then when the season ends, I can do it for overall, the season. Now, for certain shows that I just watch because they are English TV shows, I might do just a series overview, and for some shows that are close to my heart, I'll do a separate episode reviews and then overviews. So just from me doing certain things, you can understand what I like and what I dislike, and that's a part of way for you guys to understand better about me. So that's a cool thing. So Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and Iron Fist join hands in this one to defend New York from the Hand organization. Now, I did a separate video on explaining the Hand to better of my knowledge, but if you find it like just not under the just under the level of something like good, you can go obviously read about them in the Wikipedia pages or IMDb or some fan pages that might know more about them. But maybe I'll do a separate videos about them in the upcoming weeks. But just that's that. But today I want to talk about the entire review. So now, certain people think the Hand, whenever they kind of come to the show's quality gets degraded. Now, if you think about it cleanly, in the first season it was mainly Kingpin from Daredevil, and in Jessica Jones she was dealing with the her own villain. So everyone was dealing with their own villain, and except for Daredevil in the season 2 where he faced the Hand, the show quality was amazing. They say like they have the perfect kind of like mechanisms for dealing with everyone, and the Hand seems to be a little bit too much. That's because they have not been explained perfectly. For example, if the other villains were being explained in a way that the Hand was explained, people would hate them. But the Kingpin, everyone was explained in a perfect. The Punisher himself even was explained in an okayish way, so that people were like, all right, I got your point, so I will watch it. But when it comes to the Hand, they didn't explain it properly. They were just like, oh, they are the shady organization, they are powerful, blah blah blah, and people were like turned off by that fact. So they were like, okay. And in the Defender season, they just like enforced this Hand as the main villains. Like, alright, there's like 5 dudettes, they're like so strong, they can do this, they can do that, they are surviving from a long time ago, they are cool. I got your point, I get your point, amazing dude, amazing. But other people think that they should have been explained in a more perfect way. Now, I'm a Marvel fan, so my review was biased. I told you guys in it when I did the review of the separate episodes. But now, I'm looking at it as a neutral fan. Like, for example, I'm not neither a DC fan or a Marvel fan. To me, this is just a superhero show that I'm watching without knowing the comical background of things, okay? So when I'm watching it, I need it to be explained very well beforehand. Thoroughly, you have to entertain me from the start to the end, and I need to know more about the characters that I'm going to look forward to in the 8 episodes. Now, you can ask me, it's just 8 episodes, you can just watch it in a binge watch session, it's not a big deal, yada yada yada, cool. But they are going to be, since it's Marvel, it's not DC in that aspect, just they're going to throw away the show, they're just going to bring in new characters, they're going to fuck off, tell the actors who played for those shows to fuck off and then concentrate on someone in movies. They are not DC in that aspect. They are going to show these same characters in the movies. They are going to show these characters grow along with us. So we are going to be seeing them for a while now. 5 years later, 6 years later, in the third round or the fourth round, the fourth phase of Marvel, we are going to see these characters, becoming a head of Avengers or something. So they have the potential to do that, and Marvel will do that. So to us, like after 10 years later, when I'm watching Marvel movies, obviously they're going to be there. But when I'm looking at it, and when I look at Daredevil as a character, I want to know like he grew in a perfect way, in a more well explained way. Obviously, Marvel is going to do that, is going to achieve that, in the Daredevil season 3. After the incident in the finale of Defenders, we know like everyone thinks that he's dead, but he's not. So we have to explore that aspect of him, how he survived, who helped him to survive, is Electra alright? What happened to her memories and everything? So that's kind of a question that comes on, and then they will explain it in the third season. Fine. But the hand again goes back to the villain group, because they did a good job of being a villain. All five of them did their job, but apart from it, like, there was a cool guy in this organization. He speaks Japanese, I think, and he's the most dangerous of them all, and he's the most, you know, psychopathic of them all. And he does things for fun, and he also does things for the organization. So he's like your, who can I compare him with? Bolton. But he is a little bit, knowledgeable than him. But the problem is they didn't explain him really well in the show for me, because they would just show him abruptly coming and abruptly going. So I wanted him to be the vocal point of the show, at least, from the start. But they didn't do that. But at least I thought he would come in the middle as a specialist and help them out, which he would. But again, not to a point where like, holy shit, I love that guy. No, I didn't feel that. And again, Jessica Jones is my spirit animal. I've been saying this like 1,000 times now. And she was perfect to me in this show because she was herself. She didn't care about superheroes, superpowers. She didn't care about the hand. She didn't give a rat's ass about anyone. She just did her job, and that job brought her to the team. And Luke Cage was amazing as well, with the witty quotes, jokes, and Luke Cage was perfect, to be honest with you. And Iron Fist was bad in his own show, but in this one he was a little bit matured, a little bit well versed, and I like this character. And Daredevil obviously is Daredevil. He just did a good job of it, and then he just moved on. Now the problem is not with the heroes. Again, the problem is with the villains. They were not explained to a point where we would understand their motives. Now they said like the dragons are the key. Now for example, if the show was taken 7 years earlier, 8 years earlier, people would have wanted more. People would not have understand dragons and the myth you are trying to enforce it in the show. For example, the Iron Fist would say that he's trained with dragon, and his fist became that strong because of his training, and there was like dragons, and the dead dragon bones help these create a serum that will help them live longer as much as they want. Now they ran out of this, so they are trying to find old dragon bones, and they found it in specific places like Chernobyl and other locations, and they get those bones and make the city into a rubble, claiming to be a natural disaster. Now that's the key for the hand organization. Now they are going to do that to the New York City as well, and they are going to get all the dragon bones which are in the one under the building. Now to me, again, 8 years earlier, before Game of Thrones even was a thing, if they did this, they would have needed more and more and more secrecy. They should have talked about it a lot more. But this time around, people understand about dragons very well, because obviously we see a lot of dragons. So again, dragons are not something that they are shied away from. If you say dragons, people are like, really, dragons? I don't think so. But this time around they understand about the dragons, and they should have a little bit explained, touched upon that. So they thought of like thinking like, let me ease into this. Okay, it's dragons and everything, fine, but I just wanted to ease into my drift, and people will understand because they know about dragons. But even though we do understand about dragons really well, you should have at least touched upon the point, what makes it that important for you to collect dragon bones. Like they would have done this in the last 2 episodes, before the show ends. Like just quickly finish it off, quickly do this, quickly do that. But I still don't understand why they did that. So for me, that was big, off-putting. But again, this is a binge watching thing, so you will not notice these things. It was entertaining, it was fun, so you will not notice this unless you sit down and think about it or watch it again. So I did both of those things, and I think that this was a little bit undermining to me as a Marvel show. They could have done a lot better. So I gave more 9s, 10s in my review of 1 to 4 and 5 to 8. But this time around, overall, I'm going to give them 7 out of 10. It's just above average, and to me they could have done a better job. The heroes were fun, the heroes were amazing, and they could have just focused on them and could have just created a lesser known enemy, just normal enemy, and in season 2 they could have gone to the hand explaining a well versed characters and everything for us to even understand about them, to have a good time with them. But they just forced it on us, and they just forced the show itself as a season, and I just don't like it. 7 out of 10 at best. If you watch the show, let me know in the comments down below on what would you give this show a rating. And thank you guys for watching. Hit that like button if you like this video, share the video with your friends and family, subscribe to the channel for everything that is movies, TV shows, reviews, reactions, theories, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.